Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with day number 2 of the playoffs here at Division S Europe Season 2. Day number 2. Yesterday was a long one. I think in total it was 12.5 hours of casting non-stop with pretty much no break. And not a lot of sleep before I had to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning again. So I think it was 6 hours of sleep, waking up, editing videos for a couple of hours. And now here we are again. Let's go. Next game, lower bracket. We are in the loser bracket. The Vikings against Feel the Heat. Best of 5 series. And let's see who's able to move on. I'm happy to report that on the side of the Vikings, they don't play with a single sub player today. We have actually Make and also Khaldor back to business now. So that's already nice. I mean, of course, Quacknix can always sub in if he's needed. He did a fantastic job yesterday for the team. But now they're playing with a full 5-man right here. Okay. What else do we get? We have Medivh already banned out. We get Deathwing also eliminated quickly. It's Towers of Doom, so globals could be played. I mean, there's a couple of chances. Heroes that we usually see on the offlane rotating. Leo, of course, a good candidate. Malthael, another one. Blaze, oftentimes being played here. Those, I would say, are the top 3 right now when we're looking at this map. You have Dehaka as well, who comes in with the global. And of course, there's another couple of choices that you could always go for on the offlane, but those are the ones that we see most of the time. Ana gets banned out, no shock there either. And let's see. I mean, a lot of these teams have just played out of their fucking mind yesterday. It was absolutely nuts. So many reverse sweeps, so many games that just went to the final map. It was pretty crazy. So big shout out to everybody that was able to just power through the day here. Not only commentators, but at the same time also the players that were able to go through all of it. So yeah, here we go. Towers of Doom, last pick, or ban. There's Tyrael, gets eliminated quickly. Yeah, Khaldor likes to play that. So here we go. Bam. Malfurion, first pick. No Ana, so it's a Malfurion pick for him. And we have a Truden Triad combo. Zarya, the big star of the tournament so far. Not even quite sure if that's actually true. I mean, we had a lot of heroes that had a huge impact on this tournament. But I would say, given the pick rate of Zarya before the tournament and now here at the playoffs themselves, Zarya has definitely made a huge splash. Is oftentimes played directly with Garrosh for the combo with the speed bubble, allowing Garrosh to just race into the opponent's team and pick up any target there. But the immediate reaction, Make on Tracer and Johanna played by Khaldor. Okay, so with that, we have the stage pretty much already set. I mean, we have a good idea what's going to happen here. It looks like we are going to rely on a 4-man for Feel the Heat to try and move through the bot lane. And at the same time, the Tracer moves from Make are going to try to just like rush through the opponent's team. And wielding those guns like a surgeon wields a scalpel. Here comes Lucio. He gets eliminated as well, so that makes rotations a bit slower for them. And let's go. Red team. What do we have in store for us today? This is Jimmy. And there's Stukov. Okay. Mr. Coronavirus himself. Yeah, he's gonna spread it through the entire game. I mean, you're gonna hear them coughing already. And off we go. What else? I mean, we still need the offlaner. That's actually what I'm looking forward to the most. For both teams, actually, we do. Blade is gonna wait it out a little bit more. And well, I mean, you can always go for Blaze. Urel in this case. Okay, fair enough. The Space Goat is in, and we also get Liming with it. And who's gonna be the lucky one to go up against Urel, against our Space Goat? What's Blade gonna play? Are we gonna have Leo again, Malthael, Blaze, or something completely different? I mean, theoretically speaking, you can of course also go into a couple of other heroes. I mean, there's always Rexa as well, but not really the best map for him here. Leo is picked, and that sets the stage for game number 1, everybody. Towers of Doom, best of 5 series in the lower bracket. One team will advance, the other team will drop out of the tournament. Let's jump straight into the first map and figure out who takes the lead here. Let's go! Game number 1! Towers of Doom, and on the left side, Skok on Malfurion. We have Make on Tracer, G on Liming, Burger aka Khaldor on Johanna, and Max Passion on Urel. On the right side of the map, the red team feel the heat. We got X-Ray on Stukov, Wit on Garrosh, Ultralisk, played by Reyna. or the other way around, whatever fits most. Dino on Zarya and Blade on Leore, ghosting around in the game and trying to get a little bit of Leo action in. As usual, if there's anything that has been consistent in the last year in Heroes of the Storm, then it's that for some reason the Vikings always start games when they're not ready and then have to pause the game just a second later. So it's also true here in the playoffs, so I'm glad that we're actually holding true to at least that. There's a couple of things that are still consistent, you know, and you need to have that. There's like these small constants in the life of any person that really make life worth living. That's true for everything. People that are stockpiling toilet paper are assholes or have big ones, one of the two. And panic is something that is probably making things worse more than better. Ace in the Hole is the level 1 talent. If you haven't really caught up on the latest patch, then be reminded that it now deals 10% more damage to stunned and slowed heroes compared to the previous 15. So it has actually been nerfed quite a bit. We have Hold Your Ground as a level 1 talent on Johanna. Always the endless discussion whether Laws of Hope or Hold Your Ground are the better options here. Truth be told, both talents are fantastic. Depends a little bit also on the composition that you play with, but this is of course something where you're going to try and just play to your personal preference, at least to an extent. Looking over to Zarya, just to give you a bit of an idea here, we have on level 1 talent, again, the maximum charge at this point, so all about the energy right here. And this is actually one of the things that we've seen from Dino and not when playing Zarya. We've actually seen quite a little bit of Zarya plays throughout the entire tournament here with very different styles. Like starting with particle grenade builds, going straight into Feel the Heat itself, and now we have maximum charge here. But you would actually assume that a team that names themselves Feel the Heat would actually go for Feel the Heat, you know, but doesn't really seem to be the case. Well, in other news, actually, and when you listen to current advice that is being held, it's like people are actually saying, guys, you should actually cover your mouth when you're coughing or sneezing. And I gotta admit, am I the only one that like thinks about this and thinks like, which one of you assholes has been walking around the entire time just coughing and sneezing into other people's faces? Aren't you being taught as kids already that you shouldn't do that and you cover your mouth whenever you have to do one of the two? It's honestly something that amazes me a little bit. It's just simply like this virus has come across to teach some people a little bit of common human decency again, which apparently has been lost, and I wasn't quite aware of all of that, but that seems to be the case. So yeah, there's a good thing coming out of that after all, apparently. Either way, shots are being fired, and now that the game continues, we have our little setup down here to the bottom of the map with a rotation on both teams, setting 4 players bot side after the mid lane has been cleared. And off we go. Oh, nice escape here by Macke. Yeah, that was a clutch one. Pitch perfect right there. That could have been a nice kill, but both of them walk away without any victims just now. Okay, so up towards the top, Max Passion is still hopping around a little bit. The goat is in. The camps have also just appeared, so that means the pumpkins are appearing all over the place, and it's time for the two teams to jump in and try and get some pressure bot lane set up right there. Jimmy rotating middle right now to catch the experience. Safe rotation from him over to the right side, not through the middle of the map. Very determined to not be caught by anybody on the other side. And off we go here. Yep, there's one cap, the other one on the right side. Nobody's really getting too aggressive around it. The Space Goat is still totally fine and is starting to rush away here. Whereas bot lane, that's where we already have the setup with the 3 versus 3. But of course, the remaining 2 heroes of the 4-man are now rotating in, Johanna and Jimmy. But at the point, there we go, and check that out. Macke on Tracer is honestly always a pleasure to observe, so that's going to be a lot of fun here. But in addition to that, we also have Gia on Liming, and that's kind of nasty too. Level 4 talents for both. That combo did actually not hit anything. It was a good idea coming in from the side, but that didn't quite pan out. Now Zarya has her speed bubble, the speed barrier right here, which means that it's time to actually send Garrosh on a little bit of a chase. Full on race car mode, with him now being able to take down a couple of the opponent's heroes by simply flipping them over into the team. So, yep, already getting ready for it. Right here, it's a trap. But off we go. Not quite. Okay, so, well, 0 kills so far, but this is where the first objective comes in. This is the beauty of Heroes of the Storm, and it's one of the reasons why it's such a shame that Blizzard mismanaged this game for like pretty much from start to finish. Because thanks to those objectives, we actually have continuous fights. I mean, it really forces you to stop turtling and just simply going out onto the map to start fighting, which is something that other MOBAs definitely lack. And also is one of the reasons why a lot of other MOBAs out in the world have insane game times. But as it stands, our little fight over here, over the bottom altar, is already breaking out. The top left, top right are of course being exchanged. There's nothing really happening there. Normal trade, and bot lane, that's a very different story. Action is already coming in, and as it seems, it's the first kill against good old Malfurion. The old geezer is down, straight eliminated, and the channel is through, but we could have seen even more kills here. Blue team has definitely taken a bit of a beating during this exchange, so it was a really nice brawl in favor of the red team, who now have taken the lead on hit points on the core, and in addition to that, were also able to set themselves a little bit ahead here in experience, which resulted in an earlier level 7 talent. So, that talent is actually being put to some use immediately, as they are currently trying to go straight up for the camp. It seems like they're going to steal this one away. The reaction of the blue team is a little bit too slow to actually accomplish anything here, so they have to let this one slide. And they're starting to move away already, but another flip and another kill against Malfurion. Demand a second victim, so now we have 2 kills against 0. A pretty solid performance early on by Feel the Heat against the Vikings here. The offlaners, of course, rotating around as usual, so there's nothing crazy happening there. It's pretty much what you would expect. Leo and Urel just moving from one lane to another, consistently catching up on the experience. There's occasional rotations into the middle to put a bit more pressure onto the opponent's hero and play around that. But generally speaking, very solid setup, total standard, and it's all about the 4-man when we're looking at this now. Now, of course, once that the rogue abilities are in, it's a bit of a different change. I mean, that's when the pace definitely speeds up a little bit, and as the time continues, those death timers are also a lot higher, and that of course makes things a bit more dicey. But it's already tricky enough for Tracer. She gets locked down, really well played, and I don't know, but Feel the Heat is currently playing incredibly well. They had a couple of extremely clutch games yesterday, but at this point they are doing fucking fantastic. They are definitely opening this up with the intention of making sure that they're not ending up in another 5 map, I can tell you that much. Or at least that they're going to be ahead in this series. And it's a pretty decent effort here by them too. Now, they have to give up the altar because level 10 is so close for Feel the Heat. The Vikings have to give it up. And that is 28 against 36. Fight is happening. They need to be careful. Level 10 is incredibly close. Could easily be picked up by Feel the Heat and give them another lead. And Malfurion is already in trouble, but the kill against Stukov. Nice. The Vikings. Yeah, look at it. Luring the opponent into a false sense of security by sacrificing 3 heroes in the early game. Totally intentional, of course. It was all part of the master plan, and then turning it around with a quick kill against Stukov and trying to flip the game on its head. But maybe not quite there, maybe I'm overinterpreting things just a little bit, but they at least are starting to get some damage done. And they might even get another kill, but Zarya denies it with a quick speed barrier on Leoric. Well played, so able to keep at least him alive. So that was definitely good. But what else can they actually pull off here? I mean, the entire setup is still raging on, as you can see right now. Bot lane is getting attacked as we speak. And always the big question, how much value can you get here? Can you get that bell tower? Can you get it quickly? Can you set yourself up for a bot lane control that allows you to send those pumpkins straight over to the core? Or how is that going to play out for you? And I mean, they're doing as well as they possibly can here right now. But with level 10 abilities now on both sides, is of course an even talent fight again. Double ult at the top, usually not a problem. Easy exchange between the two teams, but here's the attack in the middle, and Jimmy is down. Not having any chance of an escape mechanic at his disposal, he is just helpless and has to watch all of this happen. Can't escape as he gets ganked hard, and that might actually allow the blue team to go even a bit more aggressive. They're looking for the follow-up kill so that they can claim the ult on the right side too. Tranquility already used by Malfurion, and yeah, they have to back off. You don't really want to invade this early on. It's not something that you can do easily. There's a lot of problems that come with it. Your opponent just has a much better position from the top and the mid bell tower to defend, to interrupt, and that usually leads to a simple exchange, and then people are just trying to play it through the next objective phase and try and get the advantage there, which is kind of what we are looking at right now. So with that said, we already have Wit starting to claim the next camp here and starting to move through. Leo is doing the usual rotation at the top, as you would expect. With Calamity on level 7, Li Ming is of course hoping for a couple of resets. And there's also a bit of damage down at the bottom. Good job so far by Bergkult actually on his Johanna to moving all around this. But he still has to be careful, as we now have Pumpkins moving through the bottom of the map again, because their bell tower is pretty much exposed. Here comes Garrosh, there's a speed barrier, he wants the old man, and he gets it. Welcome to the combo, welcome to the power of Zarya and... oh my god, big shot, baby. The power of Zarya and Garrosh. Speed barrier on level 4, and then Garrosh can just simply pick his target, move in, and say immediately, okay, who do we want to flip today? And he takes Malfurion down, and that's how many kills against Malfurion? We're looking at 3 now? Yeah, 3 deaths on Malfurion. And of course now they have absolute access to this setup here, and they can take down the bell tower without any problems whatsoever. Easy peasy, no problem for them. Simply moving in, dropping the structure, and setting themselves even farther ahead in this game. We have 5 kills against 2. Zarya with 21,000 damage, Jimmy on 24k, both of them doing extremely well here. And with a single altar spawning at the bottom of the map, they will secure themselves 5 shots unless we see a bit of a miracle defense here, which at this point I don't quite expect. More jumps happening now at the top side, as Max Passion is also trying to push this out a little bit further. Jimmy's already on the channel and gets the 5 shots confirmed. The rest of the team, though, wants to go for the pumpkins, and they steal even those. So they get the pumpkins, they still cover Garrosh, and he's just running around here, looking for the next target, not being able to lock him down at the least. But they're trying, as Garrosh just runs away and says, screw all of you. I mean, I already heard that Garrosh, because he is just like... so, look at this shit! Look at this shit! Hashtag worth it, baby! I mean, let's be honest, that was totally not worth it, because there's an underdog bonus that the Vikings get for the kill. But it was definitely... I mean, that was there to boost morale. That's pretty much all that was. But there is actually a rumor. There is a rumor that the next Fast and the Furious movie is going to be called Hobbs, Shaw and Garrosh. Because he pretty much qualified for the role by just simply being a little bit too fast and too furious. So we'll see if that's another highlight. But with 16 in their hands, it's a big talent lead, of course. We have 32 against 19 points on the core now. And off we go. Maka rushing around in the middle. The problem is that Maka with the pinprick attacks is not really doing a whole lot now. It's a bit of a problem because they really want to get these kills, but it seems that every single time that there's an actual threat happening, Zarya is there with another shield, and it's just a bit tricky to get kills secured the way that they normally do in this setup. So it's not really working out. X-Ray and Ultralisk are already taking position over here, attempting of course to set themselves up for the next objective, and the situation on the bell tower count has been unchanged. It's 5 against 3. It's at least 16 against 16. So there's that. But there's the next little setup. Expulsion zone. There we go. And yeah. Rumor has it, by the way, that Blizzard is going full on the SJW train and is going to rename Expulsion Zone into Safe Space very soon. Double altars. Bam! 10 shots fired. And we're single digits, lady. And they could even get this up at the top. So Zarya could go in, try and set up another safe space for the team here, as we have Leo dropping the Entomb, trying to trap Malfurion, but in the back there's the actual attack happening, and just the barely pressed R button saves Urel as she's trying to jump out. Oh, Max Passion! Oh, yeah, that was Max Passion, but not the maximum duration of the channel. So hops in front of the wall. That's not how we do it here, dude. So that could be another altar in the hands of Feel the Heat, which actually might be the end of the game if they also get the boss. Yeah, there's our safe space right here. And there we go. A quick attack against Johanna. But Leo's dead. Leo is down. He's actually not really dead. He just activated his trade. And yeah. 4 points on the core. They got the channel, and now it's all about the boss. You get one boss, and then you're good to go. And that is actually something that we could see happen right here, right now. I mean, boss is up. If you get a talent advantage for just a few seconds, then you can already make that play here. We're talking, of course, about level 20 as the next possible play in that regard. But this is gonna be an interesting setup one way or another. I mean, you already look at the fight at the bottom of the map, and as I said, you get one team kill now. It doesn't even have to be a team kill. You kill 2 heroes, and then you can go for the boss. It's 4 points against 32. I mean, pretty much at this point, Feel the Heat is the hammer, and the Vikings are the nail. And they're getting hammered hard. It's like, they need some kind of comeback, and well, a kill would be a good start, but instead they're losing Urel again. The Space Goat is hopping around the entire time, but is not really able to do anything. There's the taunt at the bottom of the map as Wit is going for it again, trying to somehow lure someone into the next setup, but yeah, they're completely blocking him off. I mean, look at the blue team. They are completely lost on the map right now. They're pretty much between a rock and a hard place, between 2 bell towers, and they are already down 1 player. So Leo is alive, but this is a continuous 5 versus 3. And guys, there's even now shots moving over towards the core. That's another one fired no matter what you do. There's the big shove, the kill against Stukov at least. Marcus stepping up, and so does Li Ming. The 2 of them working in tandem to take Stukov and Jimmy down. And all of a sudden, they might actually be able to delay this for even a little bit longer. Not 100% certain. Well, there's the channel, and they interrupt. Alrighty. Interrupt is already in. And Marcus tries to get this one and gets interrupted again. Yeah, they're trying to buy some time. Dino is there, and he's just like, race car. But they let this one slide. That's 3 shots fired. Save on Zarya, though. Zarya is safe for now. And they're going for the second one. It's actually kind of amazing. It's not over yet. The Vikings are still battling it out. Okay. So let's have a little bit of a look on the left side. Can't really escort anything through here. Marcus, Skok, and the boys are all moving through. We have 3 points against 26. So they got a little bit closer than initially expected, and they also have taken the lead in experience now. If they can reclaim the bell tower, that would be nice. It doesn't really do anything in terms of you can't lose an altar anymore. But at the same time, you also mitigate some of the danger at the bot lane that exists through the continuous pumpkin camps that are taken. So that's another one. At this point, what else are we going to grab here? Everybody is starting to rotate topside now. If the Vikings win this, but then again, I watched yesterday's games, I mean, I casted them, and there were so many games where I thought, okay, this is over, and all of a sudden we were there for another 1.5 hours, just going through map after map after map, ending up with insane highlights on the 5th one. It was absolutely insane, so it wouldn't really surprise me if we see another day like this happening today. Big save on Urel, I mean, clutch R button here. Gets the ult through, but level 20 is soon ready for the Vikings, and they might actually try and use that to remove the boss as a factor of the map, because eventually they're going to run into a couple of problems here, and they should be well aware of that. Now the altar is spawning at the bottom of the map, and we're talking single altar right now. I doubt that Feel the Heat is going to be able to fight for this one. But the problem is still the same. You have the boss at the top and the altar at the bottom. So it is at 2 extremes of the map. And that could pose a problem for the Vikings. Level 20 talent or no level 20 talent. I don't really care. But this is something that they could play around in theory. And if they delay just a bit longer, they have a chance to also hit Storm talents by the time that the Vikings haven't really gotten the channel yet. Indestructible is in, and as expected, here's the move. They're trying to go for boss now. Tracer is still at the bottom. Leo's already slowing down. There's the channel. Everybody moving top side. Guys, this could be it. This could be it right here. Zarya has the expulsion zone. Expulsion zone comes in. They try to go for the channel. Nope, not quite. And there it is. They got it. They lose Stukov, but it doesn't matter. The game is over as Feel the Heat secures the lead in the best of 5 series. GG and well played. And to move the Spider Queen. Game number 2, the lead for Feel the Heat. Good performance on the first map. Towers of Doom was actually a very, very solid setup for them. At the end, it got a little bit closer than one might have expected because a few of these fights turned really out in their favor, and all of a sudden we saw the Vikings in an experience lead that helped them to an early 20. But still, Feel the Heat played it well. Now we have Leo banned out, and on Infernal Shrines is of course a very different ballgame. Muck in particular could also play his Mephisto again, which we've seen a couple of times in the past. There's Diablo. Deathwing. I don't know where the Diablo came from, but like, yeah, Deathwing is getting banned out. I mean, it starts with the D2, so probably that's that. I mean, honestly, you know, sometimes my brain does weird things, but there's the Mucke ban. Okay, so they ban out Mephisto so that Mucke can't simply take them down with all of this. Okay. And, well, what else are we gonna get? Because now in Infernal Shrines, I mean, okay, they ban out Anna again, fair enough. So, heroes that are still up that we sometimes even see banned out. Vala has seen a couple of bans on the map because she's incredibly strong with the wave clear that the multi-shot build offers. There's of course Blaze that sometimes has been banned out. He can be played in the main tank role, in an offlaner role on this map. But it's Garrosh again at the beginning. Are they actually just gonna go for Zarya again? Has Zarya come now to a point where she's literally gonna be played in every single game unless she gets banned out? We had a few of the games yesterday, but a lot of it could be attributed to certain players just being homing in on Zarya in time. But no, there she is. Zarya gets picked over and over again right now, so she really made it now fully into the meta. Gets counteracted by Medivh a little bit on Greymane. Yeah, we saw a couple of Medivh games actually yesterday. So that's interesting, because Medivh has so far against Zarya, I think, 100% win rate. Small sample size, obviously. I mean, it's more anecdotal than anything else, but I think we've seen 2 games yesterday in a row where the teams actually switched the heroes, and Medivh won both, which was kind of cool. So we'll actually see if in this game that streak still holds true. Malthael gets banned, so gets Malfurion, so a heavy focus on taking down some of the supports. Both teams still don't have one, so there's that. And let's see. Pandemonium. As long as you don't bring the coronavirus, we're all happy here. Vala! Okay, here we go. Vala comes in, and let's have a look. Alexstrasza and Sonya. Yeah, we actually saw an Alexstrasza game already yesterday. Dragon Queen can of course be super powerful to secure yourself the objective, especially once that you have roughly 20 stacks. Has a huge power there. But what else? Last pick. Now that we're heading into game number 2 for the Vikings, so they still need a support too. And what's going to be the support right there? I mean, I could have seen Rhaegar with Sonya, by the way, for the lightning shield now. Oriel for the battery. Alright guys, game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Let's jump straight in, the second map of the best of 5. Game number 2. Feel the Heat in the lead, and they want the 2-0. The Vikings, they have different plans for this map. Infernal Shrines, and we have Mucke on Vala, Berchult on Tyrael, Gia on Zarya, and of course Max Passion on Jen and Skok on Oriel. On the right side of the map, X-Ray on Alexstrasza, we have Wit on Garrosh, Blade for Fear the Heat on Sonya, Dainu on Greymane, and Ultralisk on Medivh. I still can't get over the fact that we yesterday had a combo that had the possibility to go for Judgment plus Wah! I can't do that anymore today because my throat got wrecked by yesterday's stream. But yeah, there was a chance and we didn't get it. For the memes, baby, for the memes. It's also kind of memey that when Feel the Heat plays Zarya, they pick... they don't pick the talent, but if we have the Vikings playing it, they pick Feel the Heat against Feel the Heat. That's just weird. This is absolutely weird right there. So now we have, of course, the stacks starting to come in for Medivh. We're going to keep our eye on him to check how this is going to work out for them. But yeah, let's have a look. Down to the bottom of the map. There's already our rotation happening. It's full slam wham smash build with the Furious Blow right now. So Mini Hulk is currently coming in here. And as I said in one of the previous games, and honestly I don't want to disappoint you there either. Now that we have Sonya played a little bit more often, I feel I have to point this out again, because there's so many people that actually don't really know this, and it's one of these can't unsee it after you've seen it once. So take a close look at the Sonya portrait and then imagine Eminem with a orange wig. You can thank me later. For every single time when you look at Sonya now, you're going to think about Mom's spaghetti. That's just how that works. So, yeah, can't unsee. But either way, now that we have our Heroes of the Storm, our Nexus Eminem, so to say, back in business, we're going to see a lot of action around those shrines. The spin to win seems to be a thing of the past, as Smash is focused a little bit more often. And she can actually get a shit ton of damage out with this, but of course needs that Medivh support dearly, or she's going to be in trouble then later on. Camp gets this time taken by the Vikings, and they are actually starting to become quite powerful here. This is a good start for them. They take a few additional camps, if they can claim their own now, which we can for the time at least assume. And are going to be able to do quite a little bit of work here and set themselves ahead in experience maybe. So at this point, Exuberance is taken on the level 4 talent. We also now see Shattered Ground on level 4. And let's see what Sonya can shatter here. They're already shattering Burgers, aka Berghuld's confidence, as he's getting attacked. There's our speed barrier again. As we're gonna see a lot of running around. But it's time for the shrine. Khaldor wants a fight, so let's go, baby. Let's get that shrine announced here. Played the entire time still with the spin to win. And I don't really know if we ever solved the mystery of what actually happens when someone in Australia plays Sonya. Does she spin the other way? That's the question that we really have to answer. I mean, this is the hard-hitting question that the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear and doesn't want to answer. But this is the question that we really have to talk about. If the toilet flushes in Australia flush the other way, if they just like spin the other way, is that true for Sonya too? Is that how it works? Ladies, someone has to answer that question. We have some Australians here, right? So it is really important. People need to know. Lives can be saved. Hashtag Spingate. Anyways. Now that we have the action on the shrine, there's the kill. Zarya is immediately down. Late Sonya doesn't give a shit which direction she spins. She just goes in and hammers them into the ground. That's how you can do it right here. Vala is dead again. And the triple kill. They come in and take down Oriel as well. 3 kills against 0. And yeah, that shifted the balance here very quickly. Very, very quickly. Top side, Sonya still doing her thing. And in the meantime, Garrosh, soaking experience at the bottom, easy peasy, not pushing this out hard or anything. Level 7 talents are in, and this is a really, really good start again for the red team. Feel the Heat is impressing today. I mean, think about how all of this started. We actually saw... Where did we see the Vikings? The Vikings played one of the earliest games in the series against, I think was Washed Up, and they did incredibly well there. And now they find themselves in the loser bracket, and Feel the Heat is just outplaying them on map number 1 and is doing a great job here at the beginning of map number 2 as well. So the question really is Feel the Heat all of a sudden at a point where they stepped it up so much that they can really start to threaten some of the big names? Or is this going to be the end of the road if they be able to win here? It's still a big if, of course. I mean, this is best of 5 series, it's game number 2, so we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. But the Vikings, they have to step it up. They need to break through that little slumber there. I'm not quite sure if they had their coffee this morning or not. But I would suggest a little bit more caffeine there for sure. Don't know if the Vikings really go for caffeine or if you start the day with a beer, but whatever you do, you get some of that shit now into you. Alright, maybe it's just a healthy breakfast, you know. All of the Nordic countries. Moose. Like, I don't know, I can totally picture these boys just like going out into the woods and just like slaying an elk. And then some raw elk meat or something. That's how the Vikings do it, you know? That's the Viking style. That's a healthy breakfast for a Viking right there. That's how you get in shape for your first Heroes game. Yeah. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It's a 50-50 chance, honestly. 3 kill against 0, nearly level 10, so Feel the Heat is definitely going to bring the heat, because that is a big gap in experience between the two, so that level 10 should actually allow them to do a bit more damage here. And what can they do with that? Alright, push down to the bottom. There's a level 10 already in. Ley line! And that could be a nice setup. Leyland into a Garrosh taunt is always kind of neat. The bullet as well. Well, in the mid lane, I would really love for them to just heavily push the mid lane right now with a level 10, but they already... Oh! Leyline! Leyline! Portal! And that didn't work at all. I mean, the thought was there, right? But the execution might have not quite worked the way they intended to. Leyline into the Garrosh taunt did not work out. Wit and Medivh didn't really coordinate that as well as they needed to. We gotta get some top keg plays again, as Max Passion with his Chen is going to try to keg them out. We also have, of course, still Zarya on level 10 going straight into the safe space. Expulsion Zone is there. And we have 31 stacks on Medivh. Kind of wanted to update you guys a little bit on the status there. That means with another 9 stacks, he's going to be absolutely safe and secure. And can then play a little bit more aggressive. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, next shrine is activated. Even talents. No big advantage. Stats advantage, thanks to the experience, but that's it. And only one camp apparently is going to be taken, the one at the top right. So Dainu is just whacking away with the wolf. And off we go. Shrine time! Okay, can definitely expect a couple of safe spaces to be created here by Zarya. A good expulsion zone can definitely drive a wedge between the opponent's team and really threaten them here. So it's kind of what I expect from them now. Oh, keg plays! Look at that! That's not top keg right there. Nope. That's bottom shelf kegs at best. Trying to rush away, but still staying safe. Low cooldown, of course, so you might get another chance during all of this fight. But yeah, there we go. Lead already for the blue team. Here comes the Dragon Queen, and they are pushing them away immediately. But there's still 27 stacks against 17, and that gives a big lead to the Vikings. The fight is by no means over just yet. No. Sanctification is still up too, so that's another thing that they can use. Oh, Sanctification Leyline. That one got denied. What a boss Leyline. I mean, seriously. That was a 6-city leyline right there. Ultralist, I am surprised that he doesn't pause the game here to pat himself on the shoulders a little bit, because that thing was insane. It isolated Chen and it locked down the entire rest of the opponent's team, plus it denied the Sanctification completely. Damn, son. That was a boss line, if anything. So, hard deny here from Medivh. Just comes in and says like, yep, I can do this every day, boys. Just a normal day in the office. Oh, yeah. 13 against 12. 5 kills against 0. And it is Punisher time. Top lane also has to be dealt with. That's where Vala is taking down the Shamans. Another flip, another stun, another kill. Tyrael is down. And, well, that's that. Nicely played. So with that, all of a sudden, here comes the aggression onto the keep, and I mean, that's gonna be an easy destruction of this thing. That one's not gonna do anything here. So, yep, bam, down, and they can easily retreat from this. What a fight! I mean, seriously, that changed everything. Max Passion jumps in. Not quite sure if he was hoping for the keg play, but that thing is still on cooldown. And they're just rushing away with the portal. Easy peasy. Okay, let's take a bit of a look at the numbers. What are the numbers here? 31,000 damage for Greymane. 31,000 also for Vala. Keep in mind that, well, Medivh is sitting at 17,000. That puts him into third highest damage on his team, with Sonya taking second place with 23,000. Slamming away. 6 days to Sunday here. And, well, here we go. 13 talents are in for the blue team, but we're still waiting, of course, for the 16, which is what Feel the Heat is working for right now. Tempered by Discipline has been taken over here. Also enough to share. He's not talking about toilet paper, mind you. And there we go. The only one that has enough toilet paper to share is Blaze, because he was bunkering it the entire time. So if you go into his survival bunker, then he has everything there. I mean, seriously. There are rumors that a lot of heroes that enter the bunker never want to leave it because it's just such a quiet space. He has everything. I mean, that guy has toilet paper, he has napkins, it's fantastic. There's whiskey in there, a lot of beer too. It's crazy. Then again, at this point, it seems like at least Vala's a little bit vengeful. So that's the first death that we see on the red team side, as Vala takes down Alexstrasza, so the dragon gets taken down. But now that we look at... yeah, 16 talents around the corner for Feel the Heat. I don't really think they're going to be too upset about this. I mean, of course, you want to dodge the kill, don't get me wrong. But it's one kill, they still have a big lead, the gap is huge. And the next objective is going to be announced in just a little bit, so that's going to happen for sure. So with that, they're starting to jump straight in with Max Passion getting thrown into the range of the fort. Takes a bit of damage. Doesn't die here though. And Alex Straza is back, and there's level 16. Keck plays Indomitable for a bit. Leyline bitches. And Garrosh is safe. I tell you, Medivh is a total asshole. I mean, honestly, if you have to think about any kind of hero that is just a huge dick because he just denies your play 6 days to Sunday, it is Medivh. It has to be Medivh. There is no other answer to this question. But look at that fight! Zarya goes down. Oriel is dead, so they killed 3 in total. Even Resurrect was used in this fight, but it didn't really work out there. And in comes the next big chase. Or does it? Ah, 1 hero still dead. Zarya made it back out after the Resurrect, so that's fine. 16 talents are there, though. And there's the Temporal Flux right there. Yeah, Medivh is... I mean, seriously. Medivh is the hero. Every single time you work hard for a kill, you just put all of your blood, sweat, and tears into a task, and then Medivh comes in and just says, like, nope! And just simply denies it. So, yeah. Here we have 17 against 15 now. Level 16 talent advantage. There's another flip. The bullet and backhold is down. Get slammed, baby. Easy kill for Sonya. Alright, Zarya creating another safe space around the portal. But, well, ain't that safe. Because now the entire team is on the run. Everybody already taking a beating and being low in HP doesn't really make for another team fight. So they have to abandon that quickly. Rushing out as we're seeing Blade and his boys going straight up for the next Punisher. And this time we're looking at an Arcane Punisher. With an easy grab, of course, in the middle. Even going for the camp now. Dino still trying to get some action going here. Catapults will be escorted to the core a little bit quicker, thanks to Wit, who moved in and damaged the minion wave. So they're actually trying to prep more than one lane. They're going through the middle, that's the main focus. But of course the bottom of the map is something else that they can prepare to even create more pressure on the opponent. Leyline again, only hitting 1, but they're breaking through the wall easily. That wall is down. I'm not sure if they can get the keep. It depends a little bit on how they can threaten the heroes here. But we still have the Dragon Queen up, and that actually will secure the destruction of the main structure here. Especially now that Vala is down. Uh-oh. Sanctification is in, and Chen doesn't make it. Greymane with a bullet right between the eyes, baby. And that's another kill. Vala gets killed after she gets resurrected. Again, this is bad news, ladies. The keep is down and the core gets attacked. Sonya looks at all of this and says, like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go straight for game. I got a hot day today. Blade is sitting there saying, like, guys, I got a Tinder match yesterday. I got no time for this shit. So he just moves straight in. 13 kills against 1. They did a great job here once again. And that's a 2-0 lead now for Feel the Heat in this best of 5 series against the Vikings. GG. Well done. Okay, boys and girls, Battlefield of Eternity is the map, and it's a weird situation that we're in right now, because we have a 2-0 for Feel the Heat, and on the one hand, you can say, like, they only need one more map to win the entire series and advance through the losers bracket. On the other hand, we had so many reverse sweeps in the last 2 days that I'm just looking at this and it's like, huh, is this where it all starts again? Are we looking at another 5 mapper? I won't complain, don't get me wrong, like, I'm totally up for that. But yeah, it would be funny if it comes to this once more. So Leo gets banned on Battlefield, and we also have the ban on... on Deathwing. I don't know what's happening with Deathwing right now, but every single time I look at the icon today, for some reason, I come up with different hero names. In the last game when he was banned, I was just like, it's Diablo! Now they banned him, I was like, they banned Gul'dan! I was just like, I just stopped myself before I actually said it. Shouldn't even have told you. But yeah, I caught myself, but still. Now we have Garrosh banned out, and the Panda is also eliminated, so there's that. And let's go. Zarya first pick. I mean, it doesn't really surprise me anymore with how present Zarya currently was. Yeah, she gets just banned over and over and over again. So, yep, there we go. And, well, what else? I mean, Garrosh is still banned out, so you can't go for the speed barrier combo with Garrosh anymore, but there's still, of course, plenty of other combinations that you can easily aim for now. And Zarya just in general is fantastic for the 4-man at the bottom of the map. One of the reasons why we just see her that often. But we have the combo with Li Ming, so Ana with a nano boost for Li Ming. And there is Tyrael, that sanctimonious bastard. Nobody is actually that just condescending like Tyrael. It's actually insane. Just go through his talents. Go through his talents. He is such a righteous douche, it is unbelievable. It's no surprise that he doesn't have any friends. Like, even when he dies, everybody runs away from him. It's just like, yeah, Tyrael, I don't know. Might also be because I'm just a shitty Tyrael. Honestly, a good Tyrael player is amazing to watch. Then you watch me playing Tyrael, and I'm just like, yeah, this is totally not my playstyle. If I play a tank, I want to have someone that has hit points and can kill shit. Or at least set kills up or something. With Tyrael, I am so fucking helpless, it is actually ridiculous. Totally not my playstyle. Absolutely not. But watching a good Tyrael player, hell yeah. Always awesome to see some of the plays that you can pull off with him. Anyways, ETC gets banned. So does Lucio. We've seen it a little bit more recently again. And double pick. Blue team. Okay. Come on, what do we get? We still need the main tank for them. Johanna's up. That's been played quite a bit, of course. Also, you got a blind, you got condemn. You can really delay the opponent when they're trying to make a play for the objective. Can solo defend a bit. Yeah, she is. And Arthur's on the side lane. Frostmourne hungers. Yes, it does. Still, the quest talent on level 1 hasn't been buffed by Blizzard. That's one of those things that I just don't understand. It's more so a talent you play in brawls anyways, or a little bit for quick match fun, but why you only get 4 extra damage on Arthur's for every single stack is just beyond me. Just buff it to 5. It's still not going to change the game and make him insane in any way, but at least it has a bit of an impact and might make it fun for people to start stacking with it. So it's kind of ridiculous. It's one of those things where just always when I look at that talent, I was like, Blizzard, please. I mean, either buff it a little bit or just remove it completely, because right now it is freaking useless. Unless you are, yeah, I don't know, addicted to just dings, but then you wouldn't take him either. You would take someone else. Either way, a little bit of a weird rant. Malfurion gets picked and so does Malthael. And we have Hanzo. Yeah, we've actually seen Hanzo yesterday only, I think, 1 or 2 times, so it was a bit odd. But now in Battlefield of Eternity, we have him in action again, and that is game number 3. Can the Vikings start a reverse sweep? Or at least win 1 game here? We're going to find out now on Battlefield of Eternity, or the 3rd map of the Best of 5 series. Game on! The Vikings against Feel the Heat, game 3, and on the left side, Make on Li Ming. Man himself. We got Burger on Johanna, Max Passion on Arthur's, and we're looking at Skok on Ana and Gia on Hanzo. Okay, so now we're on the right side of the map. Feel the Heat with Wit on Tyrael, Exor and Malfurion, Reyna playing Ultralisk, and we got the Dino and Zarya and Blade on Malthael. So, off we go. Could be the last map of this particular best of 5. Then again, we thought that a lot yesterday and always turned out to be wrong, so gotta be careful here. We have Feel the Heat on level 1 for Zarya. There we go, Dino. Finally going in on the memes. So, Feel the Heat is in, and also Exterminator, which of course by now, on this map at least, is the absolute standard on Jimmy. Outside of this, still Ace in the Hole, even though it was nerfed in the last patch, very frequently taken. There's a couple of exceptions, a couple of other maps where you can also get a lot of bonus damage on, let's say, Spiders, for example, on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So the talent is definitely a lot stronger now in relation to Ace in the Hole than it was previously, but this is still the primary map for it to be picked. And it can totally destroy the Immortal. I mean, really, the damage amount that you are dropping is absolutely nuts. It's pretty cool to observe, actually. So this is one of the ways how slowly meta or small builds can change just slightly. Arthur's going up against Malthael, top side. And down here, it's all about the objective again. The objective in the early game again, which is traditionally the camps that you're trying to take. This is exactly what we're looking at right now. So they're trying to make that play. And, well, let's see if that actually works. They get the first one. Malthael is already busy at the top. I would assume that some heroes are rotating topside soon. But they don't even have to. Malthael gets an easy camp at the top. So that wasn't really a problem right here. So they get that set up. down to the bottom of the map. There's still our little attack with the 4-man, and since they have the camp, they can try and push us a little bit further. But the wall hasn't really taken any damage or anything, so it doesn't really seem that it can do too much here. There's more pressure on Arthas than on the other hand, because he's very much so alone against the 2 heroes that are defending all of this. Gia therefore comes in to help out and is able to do that. So jumps in straight away and says like, alright, I heard that you need some help here, and there we go. Bottom of the map, on the other hand, that's a 3 versus 3 that just continues to shape up just in front of us. Not really too much done with this just yet, so it's more so about the camps that are taken in preparation for the next objective, aka the first one. Yeah, don't really take this just yet, but soon enough we're going to see the camps claimed by the 2 teams, just to make sure that the objective is able to move through the map and get the damage set up here. And the camp is moving through the lanes while the objective is up, so yeah, you always want to distract your opponent a little bit, try and draw their resources out. So with 0 kills thus far, this should actually change pretty soon, since we're going to have that fight in the middle. Bit of damage topside. Camps have now been taken for both teams, a little bit slower on the red team side, so as the Immortals appear on the map, that camp still will just travel onto fort range, and so there will... one of the blue team's heroes has to rotate up. Splitting the attention of the opponent is pretty much the goal of all of this. But yeah, Jimmy here is going to do a whole lot, so Johanna can of course slow it a little bit down with Condemn and also with the Blind, but still needs to do something here. Okay. Jimmy is the one who has to attack that thing. Gets the damage in, has Inspire up, so that's when the damage increases by quite a lot. And he's already locking in the halftime show. I mean, just look at it. He's totally crushing that thing. Absolutely destroying it. Now he has to get into auto attack range, which is of course, I don't want to say like a problem with this, but it's definitely something that exposes him to the opponent's team. It's not like Chromie that can just fire away from afar. Even Liming can stay a little bit farther out of range. But it's of course better than when you compare it to Greymane, who has to be in Worgen form more or less and has to be really, really close to the action here. So for Jimmy, he's going to get mad damage here, as you can tell. But they lose Malfurion. So Malfurion gets lost. Jimmy gets a bit more damage in. He wants to secure it, and he's going to be able to do that. But they lose Blade. Yeah, they do. 2 kills against 0 now. The Vikings saying hello as they take 2 heroes apart. And now the Immortal is pretty much just going to go down to the bottom of the map. Very much so alone. Not quite. I mean, there's 3 heroes there. Death timers are low, so it's still going to be a bit of a fight. But off we go. Right now, they're going to starting to get the damage in. And yeah, it's a big shield that he's sporting here. Malthael is moving to the top, so it's still a 4 versus 4 at the bottom of the map. I mean, the wall at least is going to fall, and in an ideal world, they would be able to go for the fort itself now, and there's a good chance. This thing still has, or had shields just a second ago, switches into melee mode now that the shield is gone. But they take it down pretty quickly, actually. Jimmy's sitting at the side as the Arthur's flank hits them, so they can all move out still. Fort takes some damage, Fountain is still up, but it's a pretty solid lead on the objective now, a good start for them. Which is coming. I don't really even know why he wants to go for that. I mean, once that he has a bit more help from Tyrael, it might make sense, but in this case it doesn't really anymore. And talking about Tyrael, he actually gets locked down here, but gets the speed barrier, and Zarya is able to rush away. Okay. All done at this point. Okay, so for now, everybody moving bot side for the next camp. On level 4, by the way, Charged Blast. That's something that Maki really likes to do in the level 4 talent, especially on this map, where oftentimes we don't see players going anymore into dominance here. So yeah, Maki is playing this one a lot. Speed barrier again, this is like full-on race car. Especially, of course, for Tyrael. He's just sitting there saying, "Meow." Moves in, drops his own speed. I mean, he has Swift Retribution right now, so that's already a movement speed lead. And then you get the speed barrier on top of that, and he is just rushing around, which is pretty fun. Okay, so top side. What do we get now? Max Passion is sitting there, still a big lead for the blue team. And over here, yeah, a little bit of a battle between the 2 of them. Okay, so nothing really happening outside of the objective thus far. Once that level 10's out, that's a bit of a different story. Then we are going to see a lot more kill potential, especially depending on what we see for Malthael as his talent choice. It could again be the last rites for him here. I've seen a lot of Tormented Souls lately, especially with Ana combinations, but not so much in this team. But once at level 10 Zion, it's going to be a bit more aggressive, but especially the Vikings want to, of course, be a little bit, a little bit more cautious. This could be their final game. They need to turn this right now. And it looks like Wit is very determined to take down the fort, not determined enough to suicide into it, but he's doing a lot more damage to it, and just a few more shots would guarantee that it falls. Now Arthas is already walking over to the top right, interrupting Malthael, by the way. Blade is currently trying to fight for it, and Max Passion is sitting there like, boys, I really want to, but there's a few more heroes already coming in to cover Malthael, and yeah, it's going to be an easy pick. Which means they're the only team that currently takes the camp. So there's level 10 abilities for both. We have Tormented Souls, by the way, for Malthael. But there's only one team with the camp now roaming the lane, and that's a problem, because that means eventually, oh, the arrow connects in the back, but hasn't been taken any damage, and Hyperion had to be used too, just to ensure that Tyrael doesn't fall. I mean, he still gets healed up. Arthas hasn't taken his ult yet either, taunting us with a potential Syndragosa. But off we go. Everybody's starting to jump onto the Immortal again, and Ultralisk is doing his thing. Also, you would think. Why is he moving out? Are they expecting someone to flank him from the side? So Ultralisk is a little bit far back at this point. Could have gotten a few more shots in. Yeah, need to be careful here. And the isolation of Malfurion, caught on the wrong side of this. Yeah, nice job. And that's the kill. That's a double kill, actually. Zarya going down too after Malthael gets eliminated. Malv at this point, still fine, but that was a bit of a tricky setup now. Halftime show is still not reached, by the way. Okay, blue team is going for it, and they start attacking right there. And I'm a little bit colorblind, apparently, because for some reason... Oh no, it switched positions already. Okay, thank you. That gives me faith in my vision again, because for a second I was like, was that always like that? Did I just tell Jimmy to attack his own immortal? No, of course I didn't. Getting a little bit senile over here. I think I need more coffee. Apparently not awake just yet. But yeah, I actually think they could have done a lot more. Jimmy was really staying behind. I mean, I get why he needs to be careful that he doesn't get locked down. He doesn't really have an escape. The best tool that he has for survival right now is fight or flight and the penetrating round. But I really think that with Exterminator, if he would have gotten a few more shots in, they could have taken a lot of these hit points down. So now the Vikings have a push possibility as well, an opportunity to take that fort down maybe. Yeah, and there's a big lockdown, guys. It's starting again. I'm telling you, we're going to end up on map 5 here. It's going to be the exact same way that yesterday went. 2-0 leads and then 5 mappers all day, every day. Yeah, Blade is getting taken down now too. That's 7 kills against 0. Malthael is dead. The Immortal is still alive. Still has a couple of hit points left. We see Arthas rotating down, and yeah, I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie a few times yesterday. 7 kills against 0, breaking through the wall. And if you look at experience, there's an early level 13 talent for them now too. Yeah, I've seen this. This is not completely unfamiliar to me. Long day incoming. No, but it's nice. I mean, it's pretty cool for the Vikings that they're actually able to fight back into this. But it's interesting how the dynamic has shifted now from game 1 and 2 into this one. So that for sure is a quite interesting setup here. Alright, so what else? The push towards the top, that's what we currently have here. And let's see. Okay, Blade, Dino is trying to push us a 5-man. They don't have 13 yet, so they need to be super careful with this. And let's see what else we have here. Yeah, there's the attack on X-Ray. He's alive. He was alive, and then he moved out of the sanctification, and Li Ming said thank you and took him down. That was actually a really interesting explosion as well. I mean, you gotta give Li Ming a bit of credit for actually angling it that way. I mean, the sanctification, I don't even think that Malfurion realized it was there as he moved out, so it all happened at the same time, but it was kind of funny to see that happening. So now Li Ming as a counter kill guarantees the first kill for Feel the Heat. So yeah, they're stepping it up here. Yeah, starting to go for it. Over on the left side, camps are now slowly starting to be taken. They're gonna go for that. And let's see, camps on the left, camps on the right. It is Immortal time again. Let's go, Immortal time. Jimmy again with the giddy up. Alright. So now you have the additional movement speed. I mean, you have actually talents that increase the duration of Inspire. I'm always a bit interested in the fact that we don't really see that a lot. We saw that at the beginning, just when Exterminator was changed, we had a little bit more, but still. Everybody's starting to zone again, but now, I mean, top 4 is going to fall. Unless someone of the blue team is now starting to rotate quickly top side, the top 4 is going to fall. It's actually Li Ming who moved in and tries to really stop all of this, which Maka definitely can do. But Arthur's at the bottom of the map is also pushing this out, which means there's 2 heroes missing in this fight, so that gives the easy access to the Immortal again. Ultralisk is the one who has to go for the attack. And that's what he does right away. I mean, he is shifting positions a lot, and on the one hand, I like that because it makes it a lot harder to really go for him. But he is missing a ton of shots here when he's kind of safe because everybody's guarding him. So it's a little bit of a weird one. I like the fact that he's shifting positions to make it difficult for the opponent to lock him down. But I think he's overdoing it slightly and could work way more auto attacks in. And since he's the main source of damage against the Immortal, that would help them really a lot. I mean, in this case, not falling him at the slightest. If there's actually pressure on you, then hell yeah, move back. But if your entire team surrounds you and there's nobody in the area, then the shifting makes sense. But moving, for example, all around this one and losing at least 4 or 5 auto attacks, that's a problem. Yeah. There's a lockdown against Malfurion. Good arrow and a good follow-up, but not enough damage for a kill. Blade is low though, and that's a kill as Hanzo goes in. So the blue team again coming in with a pain train. 16 talents in their hands are there too, and off we go. 9 kills against 1 now, but they are a little bit low, so the Vikings have to be careful, but of course it's a decent spot for them to be in right now. Jimmy with a really good penetrating round, keeping the opponent's team at bay. But they just seem to struggle to really break through all of this, and that's Feel the Heat. Honestly, they're getting a bit pummeled into the ground now. So, what else? Over here, what do we have? We currently look at 33,000 damage for Zarya, 30,000 for Jimmy, 30,000 for Malthael, 56 for Li Ming though. I mean, 56 at this point. Okay, so everybody else rushing down to the bottom of the map now in an attempt to defend against this. Let's see if they can actually pull that off. 80,000 damage on Li Ming also for Siege, which in and of itself is already impressive. But yeah, here we go. Burning this one down is going to be a bit nasty. The Vikings, I don't really think they're gonna let this one go. They're honestly, at this point, just like a crocodile that has their prey already locked into their jaws. So I don't think that there's any chance they're gonna let it go. Arrow, insta-kill. They're looking for kill number 2. Yeah, they're playing this in fantastic fashion. But Max Passion? No way. Yeah. What? Don't tell me he actually survives. Holy shit. Max Passion survives. Army and the heals kept him alive. And instead, it is Malthael that gets dropped. Unbelievable. Zarya dies too. Yeah, that's at least 1 keep. Look topside. Keep also taking damage here. I guess Jimmy might be able to defend this, but down at the bottom, this keep is falling. And with the Immortal being still this healthy, this is likely going to be the end of the game. Of course, Tyrael comes back, but there's still 2 more heroes that are currently missing. They have been claimed earlier. Sanctification had to be used already too. And this is just bad news. 16 talents are in. They kill Li Ming though, but I don't really think it's going to matter. The Immortal alone is just going to do too much. And this is the first step towards a reverse sweep, towards a comeback. The Vikings taking the victory on Battlefield of Eternity against Feel the Heat in today's best of 5. Okay, game number 4. We on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Feel the Heat against the Vikings. Let's go. 4th game. Is it going to be another reverse sweep? Or we're going to see game number 5 again, yes or no? Leo gets banned. And I said it previously, I think, in the first game, but I'm actually not 100% certain if I mentioned it in this series, so I want to do it again. Zul is currently banned in the tournament. There's always a few questions that pop up. What's happening with him after the rework that he received, but he has a buck on, I think it's Jailers, his skeletons. So Zul is pretty much able to one-shot at this point, which is why he is currently banned from the tournament. And that's the reason you don't see him in any picks or bans here. Okay, Leo banned out. We see the ban on Deathwing as well, so nothing really has changed here. But since it's Tomb of the Spider Queen, there's a couple of bans that we could definitely see. Everybody's starting to pick up on the Zarya ban now, so she gets eliminated. There's still a chance that, for example, Johanna gets banned out too, so that's another one. And, well, let's see. Tomb of the Spider Queen. AoE, generally speaking, just rules over here, so that's bit. And, let's see. I mean, they're hesitating quite a bit here, but it's Medivh that they ban out, okay. Yeah, I mean, Ultralisk played that earlier with quite success. I'm a little bit annoyed that we don't get any Zeratul from Dino in the recent games. I mean, yesterday they had an entire best of 5 where I thought he would at least pick it up once, but he never did, so they just don't feel that the hero fits into the compositions and maps that they play. But it would just be a lot of fun to see that happen. Now that we have the first picks coming through, the question still remains, could you go into Ana, Malfurion? Is it going to be Vala? Is it going to be Johanna? There's so many heroes that have high priority, oftentimes, depending on what composition you want to play. Want to play with the mage, focus heavily on that, have a good Ana player in your team, it's a match made in heaven right there. So go for it. You're lacking wave clear on the other hand, and you want to have a good front line, Jojo's your girl. So, well, with a double pick available for the Vikings, what's it going to be? Jojo and Ana. Okay, Jojo and Ana in. I mean, there's a lot of mages that you can combo with Ana. You can go into Jaina, Li Ming, Gul'dan. There's quite a bit. I mean, there's even more than that, but hell yeah. The reckoning is at hand. Okay, Tyrael is in the game, and so is Malfurion. Okay, so let's see. I mean, bans now, it's, again, it could be a focus on the offlane here, and it is. Blaze gets banned, the Tyrael combo with Blaze is super strong because you have layered defenses with Sanctification and Bunker, which really can sustain you through an entire team fight with your opponent having pretty much no real chance of taking you down. Chen gets also eliminated. Yeah, they're a little bit afraid. I mean, our Chinese import here could, of course, spread the coronavirus. I'm not quite sure where exactly Chen is from, but there are rumors that he is from the Wuhan region, so people are worried right now. And it's just like, do we really want a panda? Yes or no? That's the big question. But again, he comes with a lot of ale, so, I mean, you know. Rexa and Gul'dan are both getting picked. I mean, we had a bit of a guessing game in the Nations Cup what exactly is in Chen's keg. So I think it depends a little bit on which nation plays him. I mean, if it's the Germans, it's definitely, definitely beer. For the French, it's definitely wine. Then we, of course, sake in Korea. For the Americans, apparently, it's whiskey. So there's a lot that's happening with that. Oh, there's a lot that's happening here too. Nice. Kerrigan and Sonya. Me likey. Someone wants to be the new Nick. Ultralisk is saying like, okay, I want to be the new Nick here. Let's show them how Kerrigan is really played. Sonya together with that. I like that a lot. That's actually a lot of fun. So let's go. Last pick. After we had the Rexa choice confirmed. Drum roll. And the last pick is Li Ming. Double mage. Gul'dan plus Li Ming. Gul'dan to soften them up. And then Li Ming to pounce for the reset. And with this, Tomb of the Spider Queen is now our 4th map. And let's see if we go for if we go today, again, the full distance. Or if Feel the Heat secures this with a 3-1 victory. Alright, let's get this party started. Game number 4. The Vikings against Feel the Heat. On the left side, Macke on Gul'dan, Berghult on Johanna, Skog on Ana, Gia on Li Ming, and Max Passion on Rexa. On the right side of the map, X-Ray on Malfurion. We have Dainu on Vala, Blade on Sonya, Ultralisk on Kerrigan. Finally gonna try and bring some honor to his name, so we pretty much already know what his level 10 ability is going to be. Don't even need to wait for that. Wit on Tyrael, and let's go and see how this is gonna work out for them. So it's actually, I mean, again, we had this anecdote in the past a little bit, but I still want to drop it out there. Before HGC was successfully kneecapped by Blizzard, there were actually quite a few teams, including, I think it was Dignitas, who played a little bit with double mages as well, and you can definitely win with it. It's a lot more, you need to be a lot more coordinated than with a traditional setup, because you're pretty much banking your hopes on getting a very quick kill by dropping tons of damage through your abilities on the opponent. But of course, if you do not get the kill, if that's denied, or if you're just not really playing well around your cooldowns, then you're always going to end up in a situation where some of your damage dealers are not able to drop damage on the target when it's there. So double mage can work, and we have seen a couple of situations where it actually did in the past already in the competitive scene here. But generally speaking, it is not your standard setup. But the aggressive setup for Feel the Heat is now going to try and exploit the weaknesses of this composition, and one of the weaknesses is definitely the lack of mobility of a hero like Gul'dan or Ana, and they themselves have incredible mobility on Kerrigan, Sonya to an extent, and also of course more Soterial. So there's already aggression towards the Orc, and he goes down. Gul'dan taken apart, level 1 abilities for him, the Echoed Corruption once more. And everybody now on the blue team trying to stay safe at the beginning and just, yeah, simply take it easy, stay safe a little bit, and see that they get the experience and also the gems. But they gotta be very careful, because Kerrigan is just gonna be roaming the map and looking for more targets in this setup. So, down to the bottom of the map, still Rexa and Misha fighting it out with the one who has to deal with all of this. Which is actually kinda... yeah, okay, here comes Blade, because I was like, wait a second, why is Wit currently here? So, yeah, they rotated Sonya back down. And now we have up to the mid lane the push coming, and this is actually a bit of a weird timing, because this camp is going straight into the tower range. The blue camp has also been taken, but it's not really gonna arrive over here until the bruiser camp of the red team is already defended against. So the timings didn't actually overlap in any way, but here we go. There is once again Eternal Retaliation for the cooldown reduction. A little bit of slam action after we had the block talent taken on level 1 for Sonya. Tough as nails. Okay. And the defense is nearly there, but Wit had to retreat. Malfurion is running out of mana. Everybody's just saying like, help! Help! Need to go back to the Nexus. So yeah, both of them retreat for now. Bot lane, still a bit of an attack as Dino is moving in. I don't really think that Max Passion is in serious danger. Got a bit closer than I expected. If Blade connects the stun or the spear, I don't really think it leads to a kill, but he would definitely have had to hearth back to the Nexus, which isn't really the case right now. So the builds, as you would expect, multi-shot is taken. Bit of an aggression here towards Johanna. Yeah. Next wave coming in. Mako, of course, gonna get for the gems here as well. We have 50 gems against 55. Nobody has really turned anything in yet, but if anything, then I would say the blue team has the tougher job here to control one of the turn-in points. The red team seems to be quite more dominant with the aggressive setup that they have, and always pushing the agenda a little bit in this game. Now we have 22 gems already delivered by the red team, and they're going to be looking for more here in an attempt to secure the first map Weaver wave. Level 7 abilities are pretty soon ready for them as well. So, up to the top, Ultralisk is already sitting tight, everybody else is still moving down to the bottom. Here comes the level 7 talent now too, and again the Poison Spear. And the adjustment on Sonya is also an interesting one. I mean, tough as nails at this point. You can really just see that for a big part it's also because of the solo lane that she's facing. We've actually seen a full slam setup for him in it wasn't the previous map, it was like the second map I think, Infernal Shrines, where you played Sonya too. But now we have that again. Over here, a lot of damage on pretty much both sides. I mean, everybody's just trying to get a few kills in and take some gems away from the opponent's team. But as long as the red team can control those turn-in spots a little bit more, they have actually an opportunity to just keep all the gems on the opponent's hero, so that it's going to become more dangerous for the blue team to venture into any of these team fights, because the risk is really high that they're going to lose a hero or two, and then a massive amount of gems. With 27 on Blades, I mean, he could pretty much already secure the first turn in. I mean, he's nearly there. That would be a great kill. 28 on Max Passion. Oh, yeah. And that looks bad. Oh, they're guarding all of it. Holy shit, they're losing everything. Burger came in, and he got some. He actually got some. He was able to just barely snack them up. They lost gems, don't get me wrong, but they still have recovered quite a few. So Johanna was able to at least lock a few in. They didn't lose the whole 28, which is great for them now. God, that was clutch. It's actually insane. So, yeah, Burger gets a few of the gems. They have pretty much a turn-in. But, well, let's see. Bot lane is where we currently have the next attack being set up from Blade, with the Web Weavers now coming in. But the main focus is, once again, as usual, the mid lane. That's where we're actually going to jump in right now. And let's see what they can do here. Skog is, by the way, on Ana at full HP again. He nearly died in that last fight, too. But let's see how much they can actually do with this. I mean, again, there's a lot of wave clear here. Johanna, you have Khaldor, so there's really a ton that they can play around with. And that could become an issue. 35 gems now on Jojo. Jesus. It's that early in the game already. And yeah, there's the Ultralisk for Ultralisk. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. If you would have picked... Honestly, if you would have picked Maelstrom, I would have been so mad here. But yeah, it makes me very, very happy. Ultralisk for Ultralisk. And yeah, he needs to crush her in Karrigan. I mean, the name already gives it away, right? So the 4 top side gets actually taken. Nicely done. The level 10 ability definitely helps a lot, since the blue team didn't even have it for this one. Blade, on the other hand, that's a kill. Tries to go for the spin to win, but that's a kill and a few gems lost. That's actually just the amount of gems that they needed to go for the second turn-in, but as you can tell, they have bigger goals now. They simply go for the boss up at the top. Blue Web Weavers come down, but there we go. Boss is already taken, so that's going to be a much easier defense now for the red team. They trade boss for turn-in, and that's pretty solid actually. It's very, very solid in the early game. Okay, there's the jump. Max Passion gets locked in, and even the Horrify could not help them, but they get the counter kill. Yeah, that's at least what they are able to pull off here. They take down Malfurion, so the support is gone. Boss, by the way, still attacking the top. Ana is dead now too, and everybody on the blue team is on the run. Gia is not going to make it out of this. Backhold again, moving in to recover the gems. It just seems like he is the gem recovery machine for the team. Yeah, good luck with that. Market trying to escape. I mean, it was a good move, but yeah, eventually he falls. That's 6 gems lost. That's also additional experience that they have. 6 kills against 2. Bottom of the map where Viva is taken down. In the middle, the same thing happened. And top lane is also going to fall now. So, yeah, nicely done. Also at the top side, so yeah, a little bit of damage towards the gate through the boss. So that's neat. That is going to help out with the next Web Weaver wave. And just generally speaking, Red Team is just doing a little bit better in pretty much everything now. They are slightly ahead in structures, they're ahead in experience, they're going to have an extra talent. We have the better kill count for them. And they just feel more coordinated in these fights so far. And Karrigan, together with Tyrael, is just pushing the opponent back whenever there is an opening. And is doing really well with this. Now we have 6 kills against 2. Level 13 is ready. That gives us the Chrysalis, which since the recent patch can also be cancelled. So it's pretty much like an ice block now. And yep, the opportunity again to force another turn in. They have 81 gems, and that should be an easy one for them. So they complete it up at the top. And the red Web Weavers are going to come down. And this could hurt, because now potentially 2 forts will fall. And if that's the case, and there's no outside structure left for the Vikings, which of course outside of them seeking cover underneath the fort also means that they would have lost those fountains. So if all of that comes to play, and that's going to be a tricky setup for the mid game for them. And here come the Web Weavers. I mean, this one is pretty much a goner. If they can't force a fight, the Vikings that is, and somehow save this, then yeah, there's not really a lot left. Web Weaver is pretty much at full HP at this point, and they already broke through the wall in most of the defenses. There's still Khaldor who's attempting to get some additional damage in, but that doesn't really work out. They're already moving down in an attempt to cut off Rexa, which didn't happen either, so both forts are gonna fall, and that brings us exactly in the situation that I've been talking about, where the outer defenses are all gone, and you don't have a fountain anymore that you can tap when you're fighting over the turning point. So it makes it a bit more tricky. Still a small map, so you don't have to travel too far, but it is a bit of a concern. You look at the experience gain, and that's a 2-level lead now for Feel the Heat, which is quite powerful too. After losing map number 4, Feel the Heat really dug deep in the early game and just say, okay guys, let's go and make sure that this is the last one, let's focus. 47,000 damage. This is the fight. This is the opportunity for the blue team. Gia is low though, but he makes it out. Make is dead, but we also see the kill against Vala. Vala and Gul'dan both eliminated. Gia gets a couple of hit points back here. Is actually not being followed just now. So this is not really as one-sided as you might have expected. Blade. Blade is in trouble and he goes down. They can recover the gems here, and indeed they do, but can they get a counter kill? Because Gia wants their kill against X-Ray, but he doesn't get it since Karrigan comes in and takes him down. 3 versus 3 on the map, and Karrigan just hopping around in the attempt to kill target after target. Holy shit, Ultralisk, calm the fuck down. Another kill, and that's 9 against 4 in total. Gems are just being denied all over the place. Or denied and recovered, depending on how you look at it. And now they're rushing away here once more with nearly enough gems to go for another turn-in. Vala is also back. 28,000 damage on Gul'dan's side. He's the top damage dealer, by the way, for the blue team. You just compare that over to what we see for the red team, and it is just night and day. 47,000 for Vala. In addition to that, you have Sona, who mirrors what we see from Gul'dan. Dino's already on position at the bot lane to make sure that they're taking the siege giants here too. It's a tricky spot. Really tricky. 16 talents are now ready. We actually have again Seething Hatred taken. Okay. Seething Hatred is in, and the turn-in attempt topside. It's not only the red team that has enough gems for a turn-in. The blue team also has more than enough gems. So if they get another turn-in here, they might just be able to buy themselves some time and slowly recover. And that's of course what the Vikings are accomplishing, or trying to accomplish right now. Get the Web Weaver wave, go for 16, play around it. But feel that he denies it. They deny it right away. They have their 16 talent already. And they actually also go for the boss up here. That's a little bit of a gutsy call. I mean, bot lane is pushing, of course. They isolate Johanna for now. That bot lane push is something that would actually concern me. And now that the Web Weavers come down, the blue team can't stay here for the entire duration. That's going to be a problem. This is a big issue. Now that the Web Weavers coming in, they might actually lose this one. And they just let the boss leash. Horrify! Oh, the crystal is safe! But for how long, that's the question. They're trying to come in, and it's too late. Karrigan is down, but Johanna is also eliminated. And guys, look at those. Oh, okay, Misha gets it. Misha gets the gems, and that was important. Ah, no! 61 gems! No! They just lost 61 gems. Misha recovered most of it, and then Rexa gets killed. That bot lane keep is already getting murdered, but they just lost their ticket back into this game. This is a disaster. An absolute disaster for the Vikings. Oh my god. The keep is down. And it's not going to be the only thing that falls here. They decide to not go for the core because death timers are still low. But instead they're just going straight into the middle, trying to take down keep number 2. And there's nobody to stop them here. Second keep is also eliminated, and they even push some more damage onto the top side, which gets defended for now. It's a 5 versus 5 in just a second. And Karrigan isn't here yet. But oh my god, are they taking a beating at this point? Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. 11 kills against 5, and it is not a good moment for the Vikings. Honestly, their tournament life is on the line here, and it doesn't seem like they are able to fight and bring it to game number 5. It's tough. It's really tough for them right now. Blade is turning in whatever he has. Boss, of course, is still up, so they could go for the 2. Look at the experience lead alone. That's an early level 20 that we're going to see for them, which, of course, helps them with a 2-level lead to go for the boss. And right now, the only thing that the red team's heroes are doing, if they are sitting over there, is most likely double-checking if the opponent tries a Hail Mary move. Because that's something that the Vikings could do. Try and go for the boss now. It's a shitty fight. You don't want to fight it, but what else are you going to do? Wait until the red team has level 20 and then has an advantage over you when they go for this one? Can't really do that. Yeah, Wit needs to use a Sanctification to get out. Is able to escape. There's the heal now as well. But the fight is still going strong. So they're trying to force the battle a little bit. They force it against Tyrael. But the fight is still ongoing. And there's the attack against Johanna. Half a level missing for 20. It's not a lot. Horrify's in. And Blade is able to rush away. Oh my god, Dino! Jumping in, dancing around the damage output and dropping Johanna. That's level 20 now for them. Ooh, Misha wants the kill. Shield! And Rexa is dead too. This is game. Rexa is down. It's a triple kill already. And with this, they can easily go for end right here. Well played. Really, really good performance by the team in red. They could have maybe even made it a 3-0, but Battlefield of Eternity proved to be a little bit too strong. That's where the Vikings made their stand and did incredibly well. But right now, this is an opportunity to go for core. 5-man team wipe! As we see the game about to end. All the keeps are down. Top keep is currently attacked. It will be the last thing standing. And with this, we have Feel the Heat advancing to the next round of the tournament in the losers bracket. GG and well played. Great performance here by the red team. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.